Okay, I see you now. They said
Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2.
They said they see
mic check.
It wasn't working for me, babe. You good?
Yeah, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. I just want to thank you first and foremost for just taking a few minutes to rap with me publicly about all that's happening, all that's going on here in the Assembly District of the 78th in the Bronx.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of attention that's going towards this being solely a presidential race, and I think it's really important for folks to understand that it is. We're running for our lives in this moment. Like, this is a do or die moment. And in addition to this being a presidential race, it's obvious people have to pay attention to the local elected official seats in the area, because a lot of people still are under the misconception that the president has something to do with how the actual streets run, and he does not. His job is not to legislate. His job is not to create law and policy that's local. That means that our children would be in a good school or a clean park or have access to food that nourishes the body, or infrastructure that actually works, busting car tires up because we have potholes the size of moon craters, poor housing conditions. All of that is the local people. All of that is this council person, the assembly person, the senator, and here we are in this critical moment in time where I'm literally running for my life. I mean, when I decided in February to run for the assembly seat of the 78th district, I never anticipated this, the other side being so either angry or threatened, because they understand that I'm an activist and an organizer for the last 25 years on our issues unapologetically. But I never would have anticipated the threats, the harassment. I never would have anticipated having a 400-pound man sitting in front of my door to intimidate me not to run where my 10-year-old daughter sleeps. Never would have anticipated his chief of staff trying to literally fight me on election day, nor him pulling his vehicle up on the sidewalk, pointing it at me to intimidate me again, to not talk to voters. Never would have anticipated the car that, backed into me on September 10th in front of my office. And I'm, grateful that there were people standing around that called attention to the fact that he was backing up into me. And as I'm like, the trunk is in my hip and I'm in my side and I'm banging on the trunk for him to stop, he gives me this, not him, Jose Rivera, somebody else, but we know where these things come from. So folks are like, well, why aren't you going to the police? Well, when you're in the same community that is run but with failed leadership for 30 years, his pull is deep. And since February, I've had at least 39, 40 women friends of mine call me and talk about how they have been bullied and harassed by him because they chose to support me. So it's really, really deep. And I think when we're talking about criminal justice, when we're talking about youth development, when we're talking about healthcare that's not predicated on pumping you full of white pills, rather healing was actually wrong, keeping our bodies strong, our veterans, our seniors, it's just important for people to really understand the necessity to vote for local races. It's not just about the president. And we have to make sure that we're making that critically clear too, because that local stuff is how the money comes into the community.
That's dope. We tell everybody all that all the time, it's about voting down ballot. It's about understanding that if you are not involved in the process, then you don't even know that you're supposed to vote down ballot. If you're talking about you don't vote, then you don't even see who's on the ballot. You don't know what initiatives on the ballot. You don't know who from the community is on the ballot, And we have to be very intentional. Like, that's one of the main things we say. We understand how critical this is because we got to make sure that we put in our allies in office. We have to make sure that we put in people we know that we share the same moral compass, that we understand the realities of our community like you do. You've been a public servant for years. I met you being a public servant. I met you in the Fordham area bringing waters and figuring out how to get housing for people after the fire that happened. So I know firsthand what it is that you do for the community, and the people in your community know what you do. So I'm just making sure that the world is aware, and you making sure that the world gets to understand who you are and what you represent. You're a family. You're like a sister to me. Don't matter what it is I'm doing, I got to find time, figure out how do I align myself, how do I utilize my platform, my voice everything I have to make sure that I give you, the praise and the um the opportunity. Give you my vote. You definitely get my vote. And they saying you froze again. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, can you see me?
I can't see you. I see you froze. I hear you.
Wow. I think that the powers that be, I mean,
Hey,
listen, we've overcome
no,
everything. We've overcome every single
no,
obstacle.
now they can't see you. So we're not doing that. We're gonna bring you right back. We're
All right.
gonna bring you right back. We ain't gonna do that. We're gonna bring them right back. Yeah, I heard her, but I want y'all to see her too. Let me see. We're not gonna let y'all hate on us. No, sir. You back.
Oh my goodness. Now I see me and now I cannot see you.
You can't see me?
I can't see you at all. The screen is black and there's a little circle going around. I can hear you. Now, how do we fix that?
Do y'all see her? They saying they see you. So
I still can't see you, King.
Lord have mercy. Look, you see how the devil is busy, but we ain't gonna let him win.
Nah, we're not going to let him win. We never let him win.
Can you see you?
I see me, but I don't see you. So we need to be able to see each other.
So what you want to do? They saying they see both of us.
Oh, man. So how do we,
It's really
do we have to re-sign in or something?
no. Maybe you know what? I'm gonna sign it to your live.
No, keep it here. I'm going to X out so that you come back and then reconnect me.
All right, we tried it.
Oh, the people that are saying that they see us both.
I'm telling you, they saying it. That's what I'm saying. I'm with it. Whatever you want to do.
So, but you can see me, right?
I can see you.
Okay. Well, if you can see me, uh,
And people
with,
say the people can see you and I can see you. You just can't see me. So whatever you feel
so
like doing.
everybody can see the both of us is the
It,
whole point. All right, listen, we keep the conversation flowing and going, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? One of the, I just, one of the things that I know you were in the midst of, like, sharing with people how we even came across each other years ago, doing this work, unapologetically standing for our respective communities. We just have to keep it. We just have to keep it going. We have to keep the energy flowing towards marginalized communities that will continue to be marginalized if we let history repeat itself. And I think part of the issue of why I got knocked off the ballot twice is because they couldn't afford for my name to be on the ballot. Um, so it made the job harder, but it did not make it impossible, if that makes sense.
I get it. It makes sense. And that's what we want to do. Like we're asking right now. Go donate to my sister Shanequa Charles. Go donate to her campaign if you can. If you have something to donate, I'm about to donate $500 to her campaign. And
Oh, wow. Thank you, King.
I'm asking y'all to do the same, man. She is somebody who is a real public servant, and I don't say that lightly. Like she really represents. What's your Instagram name? Because it's not popular. At Shanequa Charles.
Yeah, Shanequa_Charles, probably.
Shanequa _ Okay, let me get it right so I can tag it in so people can know where to go to donate. But yeah, man, we have to definitely donate to our
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. I mean, what a lot of people also don't know is that what we've done, like I said, I've been an activist and an organizer for 25 years. The last 8, my sister and I have founded and have been running Miss Abby's Kids, which is our organization that builds a stronger, more sustainable Bronx child through real world teachings. And what that means is that we understand that our young people, unfortunately, when they leave out of, when they finish with school, that they still do not have the proper enough training and resource to be able to actually make it out here, because real life things are not taught to them. And so for 8 years, we had been looking for a space to hold all of our programs, to house all of our programs. And, our programs are expansive. We have the Judge Shadow program, which we have lawyers, judges from, what is that? Thank you. We have we have judges from Brooklyn Family Court that come and teach our young people the principles, intro to legal principles. Pardon me. Somebody was coming through the door and we didn't know what that was. But intro to legal principles. And then we get to take our young people to the courthouse, where they get an opportunity to tour the chambers and learn about the 3 layers of the court, which demystifies the court system for them. And then they get to sit on the bench with the judge in real life while she's presiding over cases. And then she is explaining to them why she's presiding the way that she does. And that does a remarkable amount of encouragement to our young people to be able to see themselves as the decision makers in our community. And it increases the network by having, judges and lawyers and clerks and all that kind of stuff in your Rolodex. I mean, Miss Abby's Halloween health fair, where we've changed the narrative for our young people for the last 7 years around what it looks like to put healthy things into their body and their minds, and choose an apple over a candy, and choose a veggie burger over a hot dog, which has carcinogens in there that increase cancer. And we are the highest we have the highest rate of chronic disease in our community. So all of these things, and that's just a couple of the programs. That's just a couple of the programs that we have started over the last several years. But here, during the global pandemic, we opened up that community center, and now, we have food pantry, and we offer all those programs under one roof. And, the journey here in terms of educating people on what their legislative power is, being that I work on city, state, and federal level legislation, has been remarkable. It's been truly remarkable, and it's just a small testament to what the power of grassroots organizing can do.
Well, listen, man, I just want to let you know that I'm proud of you. I've watched your growth. I've watched your dedication. And I will say this wholeheartedly, without question, there is no one more dedicated to the Bronx, to the movement, to the struggle than you are. What you represent is someone who comes fully authentic, fully about your people, fully about making sure the community is safe. There's not one person that we can speak to who can deny what we're saying. Our goal is just to make sure that everybody knows who you are. And that's why whenever I have the opportunity to, I want to make sure that people understand that Shanequa Charles is somebody that definitely needs to be in the assembly. There's no more person that's more dedicated. And I'm not saying this lightly. I don't just say, you don't see me get up here and endorse candidates or just have conversations or talk positively about people that don't deserve it. She's earned that respect from me as not just a sister and a friend, but as someone who is a public and a community advocate. So I'm telling you, if you live in her district and you have the opportunity to vote, someone who lives in her district, make sure that you follow her, make sure that you vote for her, do your homework. I'm not telling you to just vote because I said it. Do your homework, ask people who's from her community, look up what she's done, look how she shows up all the time, and make sure that you give her, and if you're not from her community, donate to her campaign so that she can make sure in these last few days that she's able to put together, the same campaign that her counterparts are, who haven't really done anything in our community, who's been incumbents, who sat on, these seats for 20 and 30 years and nobody even knows who they are until it's time to vote. So, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, I need y'all to support her. I just put her Cash App on the screen. Make sure that you donate to the Cash App. I don't like to say the word donate. I apologize. Invest in Shanequa Charles, because an investment in her is an investment in our future, an investment in our people, investment in our children, investment in our community. So make sure that you invest whatever you have in her to try to assure, not try, to assure that she is the next assembly in the 78.
Thank you. I appreciate that, big brother. I definitely appreciate that. And, lastly, folks, just when you are heading out to the polls and you are sharing with your friends and your family about how critical this journey is, unseating a person that has been in a seat for 30 years. I'm the first Black woman to challenge the seat, and even when knocked off the ballot twice, I continued to fight. So you're not going to see my name on the ballot. You will absolutely have to go to member of assembly and write my name in. You have to bubble in where it says write in, and you must spell my name correctly. Because what I do know is that a lot of things have been done to me, to us during this race. But I'm not breaking, I'm not bending, I'm not folding. I can't be bought, sold, and I ain't going nowhere. So this is my community. All of my 40 years have been spent here. I'm raising my child here, and this is home. The amount of support we've been able to generate on a volunteer basis is unmatched in any political campaign. How do I know? I organized the Bronx for Cynthia Nixon's campaign for the governor race. I organized Jumaane Williams' campaign for the Bronx. And I'm just letting you know that I've never seen this amount of volunteerism. We even have a brother that comes all the way from Far Rockaway, Queens, 3 times a week to show our young people model trains, which teaches them engineering, science, mathematics, carpentry, all of the trades that they've taken out of the schools 20 years ago. You're not going to find anything else that looks and feels like this, because the moment is right now for us to take our communities back. Mysonne, I love you. I appreciate you.
I love.
And 2477 is our office/community center.
Yes, make sure you follow her. And she's not on the ballot because they're trying to suppress her. They're trying to do everything that they can. If you listen to the beginning of this broadcast, she talked about how she's been threatened, how people have been sitting outside her home, how people physically have tried to do harm to her. She represents a threat to the incumbent, and we're not saying who did it. We just know that who is being done on behalf of, and just her not being on the ballot is another way to suppress her and try to block on a Black woman who's really for the community, because it makes no sense for her not to be on the ballot. So please make sure when you go to the ballot box that you look for where it says to fill in the person's name, you write her name correctly. If you follow her, you'll see her name correctly. You'll get all the information. But just make sure, and even if you can't vote, if that's not your district, then invest in her campaign, because she is definitely the most, she is the most eligible. She is the most capable person for this position. So please make sure.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
I love you, Queen. Stay safe. Whatever.
I love you.
I'm here. Go follow her and go invest in her right now.
Thank you.
See you later.
Peace.
So listen to me. I need y'all to go invest in Shanequa Charles right now. Make sure that y'all invest in Shanequa Charles. I don't care who you are. Invest in Shanequa Charles right now. Make sure that you invest in Shanequa Charles right now. She is running for State Assembly, the 78th in the Bronx. If you're not from the Bronx and you can't vote for her, then still invest in her. I need y'all to invest in her right now. It's my sister, and I don't endorse or co-sign nobody that don't deserve a co-sign. You know what I'm saying? But the work she does and how dedicated she is to the community is unmatched. Sometimes I look at the work she does and I say, look, I'm not working hard enough. She's one of the people that motivate me. So I promise you, when you vote for her, when you invest in her, you'll definitely see what you're investing in.